everyone, and today I will be talking about I'm LDS. Woo. Now, being emo / goth and an LDS is kind of my spiel. That's what makes me different from all the other guys. I know I'm just so cool. You should follow me. Anyways, I'll be telling you some stories about some things that LDS members have to go through. And I don't mean to make this feel bad, but to tell you what, because there's some people who have no idea what we go through, and they just add on to why it's such a struggle to be LDS in this day and age. And even in early LDS members, it was this has been happening for years. So the LDS church when it was growing in the early age, I want to say there was about 600 people. And this was in New York, and you'd think the community would leave them alone, but of course not. They had to move because people didn't like them, so they moved to Missouri. And then the governor did not like that they lived there, so sent some soldiers after us and burned down our houses, killed a couple people. It's just part of being LDS. It's sad, but it's okay. We are still here. We're still growing. It's fine. And then later, we just got consistently pushed back more and more west, and that's why we landed in Utah. Yeah, and a lot of people got arrested on that travel to Utah. A lot of people died. Joseph Smith shot and got killed before the big migration to Utah. But that was in the past. That's what LDS had to deal with in the past. And it's really sad, but we move on. We live we live and learn. But today we're still dealing with some stuff. And I'm gonna tell you some stories that I haven't told anyone in not even my family really knows. Only my mom was a part of one incident, but none of my friends know, or anybody in my church know. But when I was in 2nd grade, this boy and this boy got in a verbal argument. It was verbal, nothing bad happened, it's not a big deal. And it was just an argument on if God's real or not. I was saying that God's real. He's saying, nah, bro, you're in a cult. How dare you say that God's real? And the next year, in 3rd grade, same boy, we got into physical fights, just tackling. Since we were little kids, it didn't hurt as much because we're little kids. And I thought we were playing a game the whole entire time. Because I would horseplay with my family, so I thought it was normal. Didn't report him or anything. Yeah. Same year, my church gets burned down. Don't know who did it. The church couldn't be saved, so we but we sold the land so we can get some profit from the tragedy. It sucks, but there's a lot of churches in Utah. If you didn't know, I live in Utah. I'm Mormon, of course I do. Sorry, member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So we just moved on to the next church. It's fine. But that summer, I was 9 years old. My mom signed me up for this summer camp, but it was really just afternoon activities from her work. She worked at a rec center, still does, but in a different part of it. And I was really excited because we would swim, ice skate, play outside games and stuff. But guess who was there? The guy that has been fighting me because I was LDS. Kind of funny. Ironic. I didn't mind it. I kept my distance. He kept he kept his distance. We didn't talk. I just one day, though, of course, something bad had to happen. We did swimming every other day, and this day we were swimming. Now, this is in a public pool, but we would only be in there for an hour, and the leaders would watch us and play games with us. And this boy tells me that he wants to play a game. So, of course, being a nice person that wants to make peace with everybody and was told to be a peacemaker, I, of course, went over and be like, yeah, sure, I'll play a game. I don't remember what game he told me to, but I want to say it's hide and go seek. But he was in front of me. I closed my eyes, and then when I opened them, he was no longer in front of me. He was behind me. And I remember him saying, "Get her," get her. um, and two of his friends grab my arms, and he stands behind me and pushes my head into the water. So I'm like this, basically drowning. Well, I was drowning. He was drowning me. Funny, ha-has. Um, and I again thought it was just part of the game. Because like I would horseplay, and I thought I was wrestling, but in the water. But I, of course, defend myself. Yeah, I defend myself and kick him and swim off. And they were faster swimmers, and catch me again, same position, but didn't fully get my head in the water because I resisted. I did kick myself, kick myself free again, but this time I kicked the main boy that was pushing my head into the water and the balls, and I made all three of them mad. And I was swimming towards like the leader, like one of the leaders of the camp, and then the whistle blew, which is like the signal, like, oh, it's been an hour, time to get out of the water. So I get out of the water, and I'm in my towel on the lunch bench, and I like think to myself like, oh, that was not a game. You're not supposed to almost die and feel terrified about a game. I haven't. It's okay though, because he got reported, and I got taken out of that camp. So yeah, I never have experienced that thing ever again, and I'm glad I am. Never experienced that thing. It's traumatic, and he does still go to my school, and every time I see him in the hallways, I have a tiny panic attack. But it's fine. It's fine. But that was in elementary school. My life didn't end there. Of course it didn't. In middle school, I did talk a little bit about being LDS and love my religion. And I saw how people would react to that. They would get quiet and not talk to me, ignore me, look at me weird. So I stopped talking about it and started to dress more emo and goth. And I saw that it made people more happy. Like, for example, an old friend, she's not religious, and I talked to her about being religious, and I saw that she's like, oh, okay, cool, man. And, like, she did not like that I was LDS, which is totally fine. You are allowed to hate me. I don't care. But when I dressed super emo this day, I had a black, like this tank top with a zipper, and a green flannel, gold jewelry, and was wearing big eyeliner. I saw her face because she's like, oh my gosh, you're just emo, I love it. And I just saw how happy she was that I didn't look LDS and I didn't talk about it. So, I just didn't talk about it. And that was in middle school. Now I'm in high school. I still don't talk about it, and I still dress super emo. But there has been some stuff out of my city, like recently in January January 13th, 2026, there was a shooting in Salt Lake, like right next to Temple Square. 2 were killed, 6 were injured, and there was a big shooting in the later year of 2025 in Michigan. I think was on the news. I don't fully know. So, yeah. LDS is pretty tough, and I just want to tell you, please, please have mercy on us. But being LDS is tough, and I know it is, but it has so much more blessings. And I love being a member because I know that I have a community that loves me and wants me to be there. I have friends and family for me, And because I'm a member, I know that my Father above will never abandon me, and I know that my brother Jesus Christ has died for my sins and for the people I love and for the people who don't even know that he did that. Because I'm a member, I don't have to be afraid of anybody, and it's like low-key like a superpower. I'm not afraid. I don't care what happens in the future, and I'm prepared for anything. Not anything. I want to say a lot of things. Um, but because I'm a member, I've also have survived and lived to tell the tale for like some things that were really dark in my life. So I want to end this message to say I'm proud that I am a daughter of God, and I'm proud that I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It's really hard to breathe through this mask. I hope you understand. If you can't hear me, or I do that like long breathing pause, it's because it's hard to breathe. Um, I don't really care what people say or do to me. I just know that I am loved and I love my community. And I love all y'all. Please drive safely and know that there are some things that might be hard in this world, but you can always have someone to lean on. And love you guys. Bye-bye.